Now, H.D. Devegowda has reiterated that disowning Kumaraswamy would happen if at all Kumaraswamy thought of aligning with the BJP. He went on to question as to what was wrong in what he said. Devegowda had earlier said that he would disown his son if ever he got into an alliance with the BJP. The JDS will not go into an alliance with the BJP, and in case the party, the JDS, does not get a majority in the election, he is ready to sit in the opposition. Now, this has created quite a bit of a stir, especially with the Congress having alleged that there is a pact, a secret pact between the JDS and the BJP, something that has been refuted by both of the parties. Let's just listen to what H.D. Devegowda said.
ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ BJPಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಅವ್ರು ನಗುತ್ತಾ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು? ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಹೋದ್ರು ನಾನು ಆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈವನ್ ಲುಕ್ ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಓದ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಮೂರು ನೀಡ್ ಬಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಹೂ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ BJPಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
H.D. Devegowda has stated that he is the head of the family and it would be a mistake to align with the BJP. There will be no such plans encouraged or entertained. And this was an instance that happened 12 years ago and is not to happen now. Kumaraswamy had aligned with the BJP back in 2006, having stepped away from the alliance with the Dharam Singh government, formed an alliance with the BJP, overpowering the Congress, and once bitten, twice shy. Joined by my colleague Arun Sundaram on the phone right now. Arun, continuing to speak on this worry that H.D. Devegowda has on a repetition of 2006.
Well, that is a worry. It's a real worry because he is making clear the fact that he doesn't want to be the kingmaker. He wants to be the king. But call it voters' apathy or loss of fear of credibility. But it appears that the voters are not willing to really walk the talk or by the argument being put out by the regional outfits, suggesting that both the national parties are only keen on exploiting the state for their own selfish ends. And that perhaps explains his anguish as to what really transpired in 2006, the ill-fated alliance with the Saffron Party, which ended in tragedy, and the fact that he is now forced to play the role of the kingmaker. Now, whether he will really be able to become the king or not is something that we will have to wait for May 15th to come to know. But clearly, he is trying to send out a message that enough is enough. JDS should not be seen as a party which is playing second fiddle to certain other national parties. Now, this is a kind of a genuine desire because every political party has a certain stature. It wants to maintain that stature, improve on that stature. But unfortunately enough, for the JDS, as far as Karnataka is concerned, it's very derisively called as a regional outfit, as an outfit which doesn't really have enough voice. So will its voice for being the true defender of the Kannadiga faith and the Kannadiga peoples really be upheld this election, Nikhil?
Now, certainly a matter of a concern among the JDS's ranks as well, and especially in light of the fact that the memories of 2006 are also looming. The very question of the kingmaker, given H.D. Devegowda's and of course H.D. Kumaraswamy's response to that, is that the word kingmaker might not even apply in this case, if at all their word is to be taken, that they will sit it out and see how it goes. They certainly do not want to align, so the fact that the kingmaker theory is in the offing might not even be there.
Well, technically they can say that we will stay out, we will sit in the opposition. But for that to happen, the issue is that the principal opposition parties, assuming that we're talking of a hung assembly, one of the three people will have to then abstain from voting. The question is, will that really take place? Because remember, at stake is not the question of just a state or 224 constituencies. There is much more at stake as far as Karnataka is concerned. It is going to be a victory, harbinger of good news or bad news, depending on which way the wind blows. So it is easier said than done to say that we will sit in the opposition. Sitting in the opposition is fine, but then the process of forming the government is so compelling that anything could happen. Even if you were to put up a brave face and say that, look, you will have to accede to X, Y, Z, A, B, C, so many conditions. The fact is that you cannot have a situation where you will call in for assembly polls at the drop of a hat. It's a very costly exercise. It's an exercise which could also land you in a futile spot, and therefore you need to weigh your options very carefully. Therefore, to suggest that probably the JDS would prefer to sit out in the opposition may not really come true, because if they have substantial number of MLAs, because remember at this point of time in the legislature, in the assembly, they have around 40 MLAs, and obviously they are looking at increasing this number. If they assume get about 60 or 65, then they become a sizable number. They can really decide the formation of the next government. There is no doubt about that particular factor, Nikhil.
Thank you, Arun, for joining us with those insights. We'll now slip into a short break. More news and updates on